Hello, today we are going to talk about a coordinate plane. As you see, this would be an example of a coordinate plane, this entire diagram. Basically, the definition is that a coordinate plane is formed when you have a horizontal axis and a vertical axis that intersect. The horizontal axis is what we also call the x-axis. So I'm just going to label that. While the vertical, that's the axis that goes up and down, is what we also call the y-axis. Now, both axes, the x and the y, will intersect or cross at what we call the origin. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that. Basically, the origin, or the 0 point, is where your x and y axis will intersect. Now, by creating a coordinate plane, remember that is an x-axis and a y-axis that intersect at the origin, you now have created what we call quadrants, or parts in the coordinate plane. There's actually 4 of them, and each quadrant has a name. You will start in the upper right corner by calling this quadrant 1, and then you go in a counterclockwise direction. So that means beside quadrant 1 you have quadrant 2, below quadrant 2 is quadrant 3, and then remaining we have quadrant 4. And yes, you do typically use Roman numerals when naming or discussing the quadrants. Now, what we're going to talk about are ordered pairs. Basically, an ordered pair is 2 points where 1 is for the x-axis. I have some examples of ordered pairs down here. So the first ordered pair, like I said, is for the x-axis. We also call that the x-quadrant. I'm sorry, the x-coordinate. And the second number is your y-coordinate. So basically, the x and the y tell you how many places and in what direction to move along each axis. So let's go ahead and get started with some examples focusing on the ordered pairs. First, I'd like to talk to you about how to identify a point's location on the coordinate plane. Well, remember, the point's location can be written as an ordered pair, where the x is the first number, and that's going to tell you what direction you move from the origin to where that point is at. So if we start with point A, from here along the x-axis, we had to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places over. And since this is a positive 8, that means that my first number in the ordered pair is an 8. Now, the y-coordinate, what direction did we move from this 8 to get to point A? Well, it looks like you moved up. And since you're moving up, that means that y is positive. Now we just need to figure out how many times we moved up. We moved 1, 2, 3, 4 places up. Therefore, your y-coordinate is 4, making the ordered pair for point A 8, 4. Let's do another example looking at point C. You always start from the origin, and you always start with x first. So I'm going to go ahead and find my ordered pair for C. From the origin, I had to move backwards along the x-axis, and since we're moving backwards, that means your x is going to be negative. So we had to move backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that would make your x-coordinate a -6. And not only did you have to move backwards, you also had to move down. We moved down 1, 2, 3 times, making the y-coordinate a -3. Therefore, the ordered pair for C is -6, -3. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is going backwards, what if they give you the ordered pair? How would you plot the point? Well, it's very simple. You're going to use the ordered pair kind of like directions, telling you where to place the point. We'll start with point B. The ordered pair for point B, as you can see, is -4, 2. So that means from the origin, I'm going to move along the x-axis until I get to -4. And then I'm going to move along the y-axis, or the y direction, and I'm going to move up 2 places. And what you have here is point B. Now, D is +10, -10. So you're still going to start from the origin at 0. Since the x is a +10, that means you will go forward till you get to +10. Y is a -10. So now you have to move down 10 places. We're going to end up right here on the corner for point D. Now you should have some practice examples on your own. I want you to pause the video and end the video and go ahead and try some of those practice problems on your own, and be prepared to bring those in class.